Hello everyone, I am Saman. Welcome to my YouTube channel IGCSE and GCE Maths School. Today I am going to post the first video. This is the first video of this channel, that is on rules of operations of directed numbers. Without much ado, let's go to the video. Okay. Then, as far as directed numbers are concerned, they can be added, subtracted, multiplied, and divided. So there are four operations that can be executed with directed numbers. Then addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are those four operations. Then to do these four operations, there are certain rules that you have to follow, and the purpose of this video is to give knowledge of those rules and how to apply those rules to add, subtract, multiply and divide directed numbers. Right. Now, if you take the addition and subtraction of directed numbers, it is governed by addition and subtraction of directed numbers is governed by a pair of rules, two rules. Those rules depend on whether the numbers added or subtracted have the same sign or different signs. The one rule is when the directed numbers of the same sign are added or subtracted, and other rule is for the number of when the other rule applies. Other rule applies when the directed numbers of different signs are added or subtracted. Now I will go to the two rules of addition and subtraction of the directed numbers. Now look at this whiteboard. In this one, the addition and subtraction of directed. These are the two rules, rule 1 and rule 2. The first rule is applying to the addition and subtraction of directed numbers of the same sign. Same sign means there may be several numbers of the negative side. There may be several numbers of the positive side. If there are several numbers of the same sign, what you have to do is you have to add the numbers and put the same sign as the sign of the answer. Now we will look at that. Now when you add, say for example, say you get plus 2 plus 5. There are two numbers of the same sign, plus 2 and plus 5. And according to the rule, if the two numbers of the same sign, here the same sign is positive, both numbers are positive. If two numbers of the same sign, they are added and put the same sign with the answer. Here the same sign is plus. Then you add these two numbers, 2 and 5, that is 7. Then the same sign of the two numbers is plus. Answer is plus. So this is what this rule says. Then another example, we will take as example 1. Example 2, we will take two numbers of negative sign like this, minus 7, minus 10. Negative 7, negative 10. We will say what this will be equal to. Now, here you get minus 7, here minus 10. Now there are two numbers of the same sign. The same sign here is negative sign. Same sign here is the negative sign. Now apply the rule. Numbers of the same sign added and put the same sign with the answer. Then you add these two numbers because these two numbers have the same sign, that is negative. Add these two numbers, that is 17. 7 plus 10 is 17, and put the same sign, that is negative. That's all. So this is how this first rule, that the numbers of the same sign added and put the sign of the same sign with the answer is applied to add or subtract directed numbers. Then the application of the rule depends on whether the numbers to be added or subtracted have the same sign or different signs. Right. Then this is the case where the numbers have the same sign. When the numbers have the same sign, you add them and put the same sign in the numbers with the answer. In the second case, then second rule applies when the two numbers to be added or subtracted have different signs. One number is positive, other number is negative. In such a situation, we will see how the rule is applied. This is the rule that has to be applied where the two numbers have different signs. Then let's take examples like this. When the two numbers have the different signs in addition and subtraction, what you have to do is you have to subtract. You have to subtract the two numbers. You have to subtract the two numbers and put the sign of the larger number in the answer. Now look at here the rule, numbers of different signs are subtracted and put the sign of the larger number in the answer. That is the principle. The second rule that applies to the addition and subtraction of directed numbers when the two numbers have different signs. When the two numbers have different signs, you subtract the two numbers and look at the sign of the large number and put the sign of the large number in the answer. That is second rule. Look at the second rule then. If you look at the second rule, for example, you take two numbers. Let's say here -7 plus 10. Okay. Now here there are two numbers of different signs. One number is positive, other one is negative. The two numbers of different signs, what is according to the rule? You subtract the two numbers. You subtract 7 and 10. When you subtract 7 and 10, you get 3. Then look at the sign of the larger number. That is positive sign. Therefore, answer is positive 3. So this is the. We will take another one. Example 1. Example 2. Then we will take another case. 12 minus 12 plus 8. Now take this case. Now in this case, there are two numbers of different size. One number is positive, other one is negative. Now the larger number has negative sign. As there are two numbers of different signs, according to the rule, when there are two numbers of different signs, the numbers are subtracted. And put the sign of the larger number in the answer. Now right, here large number is 12, deduct, because there are two numbers of different signs, you deduct this, you subtract the two numbers, then you get 4, and sign of the larger one is negative. Put the answer negative. So that is how the two rules of addition and subtraction operates. Then as far as addition and subtraction of related numbers are concerned, there are two rules. One rule is when the two numbers have equal signs. One rule is when it's applying when two numbers have the same sign. When the two numbers have the same signs, you have to add the two numbers and put the same sign in the two numbers that are given. That is, here the same sign in the two numbers, here positive, positive, therefore the same sign here plus. Add the two numbers and put the same sign, that is plus. Now in this case, here there are two numbers, both are negative. Both have the same sign, that same sign is negative. Then you add these two numbers according to the rule and put that same sign negative here. That's all. Right? Okay. That is the first rule. Now the second rule applying the addition and subtraction of directed numbers is this one. Numbers of different signs. Numbers of different signs are subtracted and put the sign of the larger number in the answer. That is what we have to do when you have numbers of different signs to be added to subtract. Right. Now in this case, look at second rule. Then you have been given two numbers, one minus, other is plus 10. Then two numbers of different signs. What you have to do according to the rule? You have to subtract. You have to, when you subtract 10 and 7, 3. Put the sign of the larger number. The sign of the large number is plus. Put plus. Then second one. Second example. Now look at, we have been given the two numbers. One is negative 12, other one is plus 8. Out of these two numbers, one is positive, other one is negative. Two numbers of different sign. Therefore, you have to subtract according to sign. Two numbers, so numbers of different size are subtract. Numbers of different signs are subtract and put the sign of the larger number in the answer. That's what you have to do. In this case, one number is negative, other number is positive. Two numbers are different. They have to subtract. Then put the sign of the larger number as the sign of the answer. Here the sign of the larger number is minus. Put minus in the answer. Answer will be minus 4. That is one. That is how you do addition and subtraction of directed numbers. Now the next part. There is another pair of operations that can be executed with directed numbers. That is, they are multiplication and division. Multiplication and division. Then multiplication and division of denominator numbers are also governed by two rules. Those rules are also depending on whether the two numbers have different signs or same signs. Right, the first rule. The first rule apply here one. When the numbers to be multiplied are divided. When two numbers are multiplied or divided, if they have the same sign, answer is always positive. Answer is always positive. Two numbers of the same sign, when two numbers of the same sign are divided or multiplied, answer is positive. The same sign may be negative or positive, whatever it is. It can be two numbers of negative sign or two numbers of positive sign. If you multiply two numbers of negative sign, answer is positive. If you multiply two numbers of positive sign, answer is positive. If you divide two numbers of positive sign, answer is positive. If you divide two numbers of negative sign, answer is positive. So whatever it is, whether it is negative or positive, if the two numbers have the same sign, if the two numbers are divided or multiplied, answer is always positive. That is the principle. Let's take some examples. Say, look at the first rule for multiplication and division. When two numbers of the same sign are multiplied or divided, the answer is positive. That is the principle. Now look at here. For example, take first example. Right. Let's say you have minus 12 to be multiplied by minus 3. Right. You multiply minus 12 by minus 3. Look at these two numbers have the same sign, that is minus and minus. Minus 12, minus 3. 12 has minus sign, 3 also has minus sign. So therefore, now you multiply and put the sign according to the rule as both the numbers have the same sign. Two numbers of the same sign are multiplied. Answer is positive. Then 3 times 12, 36 and positive 36. Right. The second example. Now take the second example. Now take 4 plus 4 multiplied by plus 8. Right. Now you multiply the two numbers of the same sign. Same sign here is positive. Positive 4 multiplied by positive 8. Two numbers of the same sign are multiplied and answer is positive. 4 times 8, 32. Because you multiply, answer is positive because you multiply, because two numbers of the same sign are multiplied. According to the rule, when two numbers of the same sign are multiplied or divided, the answer is positive. Right. Okay, that is the multiplication. Now try the division also. For the division also, the same principle applies. Let's say third example. Now we multiply like this. We multiply minus 24 by minus 8. Okay. Now you are multiplying two numbers of the same sign, that is negative. 24 negative, 8 also negative. Therefore, first rule applies to when you divide two numbers of the same sign, answer is always positive. Therefore, 24 divided by 8 is 3. Answer is 3. Because two numbers of the same sign have been multiplied. Two numbers of the same sign have been divided. I'm sorry. Two numbers of the same sign have been divided. Right. Then fourth example. We will take another case. We take another two numbers of the same sign, that is, let's say, plus 15 divided by plus 3. Okay. Plus 15 divided by plus 3. Plus 15 divided by plus 3. 15 divided by 3. 5. But you have divided two numbers of the same sign positive, therefore answer positive. 5. Okay. Right. So that is how you multiply and divide when you get a pair of numbers of the same sign. Numbers of the same sign, two numbers of the same sign are multiplied and answer is positive. Two numbers of the same sign are divided, answer is positive. That's quite simple. Okay. Now you go to the other rule, the other case. Still we are in multiplication and division of directed numbers. Then the other rule which applies to the multiplication and division of directed numbers is when the two numbers have different signs. When the two numbers have different signs. Then what happens when the two numbers have different signs? How do you determine the sign of the answer when the two numbers have different signs? That means one number is positive, other number is negative. Let's say, now take example. Say you want to divide minus 24 by 3. Something like that. Minus 24 by plus 3. Something like that. Okay. Two numbers of different signs. Then the rule is, when two numbers of different signs are multiplied or divided, answer is always negative. Answer is always negative. When two numbers of different signs are multiplied or divided, answer is negative. When two numbers of different signs are divided or multiplied, always answer is negative. Right? That is the principle. Okay. Now we go to two number of different signs here. See, look at the rule, second rule. When two numbers of different signs are multiplied or divided, the answer is negative. Now we'll take some examples. We'll take two number of different signs. Two number of different. I will take somewhere here. This case, examples. Right. Two number of different signs. Now let's take example 1. Take two numbers of different signs. Let's say 27. Negative 27. Let's say multiplied by 2. Positive 2. We can show the positive sign or not. Whether it is shown or not, it's positive, right? Positive sign. We can choose. There's a what we call choice to show or not to show. Okay. Now you multiply 27 by minus 27 by 2. How much? The answer will be 54. Answer will be 54. Answer will be 54. Answer will be 54. Because the two numbers have different signs. Here positive, here negative. Sign of the answer will be negative. Because according to the two numbers of different signs are multiplied and put the negative sign. When two numbers of different signs are multiplied, the answer is always negative. That is the rule, application of the rule. Now we'll take another one. Second example is multiplication. Positive 8 into negative 3. Now one number is positive, one number is negative. We are going to multiply two numbers of different signs. Two numbers of different signs. What is the rule? When two numbers of different signs are multiplied, the answer is negative, right? Then multiply 4 times 3, 24, then two numbers are different, their answer is always negative. One is negative, one is positive, therefore answer is negative, that is negative 24. Right. This is the multiplication of two numbers of different signs. Applicable rule is, if two numbers of different signs are multiplied, the answer is always negative, right? Now take the division case. Now, third example. Then for multiplication and division, the same rule applies. Okay. Third example, you take a case where you have to divide. You take a division. Say you divide negative 55 by 5 plus 5. You see. Now, two numbers of difference are numbers. Two numbers of different signs are to be multiplied. one number is positive, that is positive 5, other number is negative, that is negative 55. Then after dividing this, 55 divided by 5 is 11, answer is negative because of this rule. When two numbers of different signs are divided, answer is always negative. Answer. Okay. Another case. 3, 4. We say 48, that is plus, divided by negative 2. Right. We put negative 3. Okay. We'll put negative 3. Now plus 48 is going to be divided by negative 3. Now two numbers of different signs. We are going to divide two numbers of different signs. Therefore, according to the rule, when two numbers of different signs are divided, the answer is always negative. Therefore, you divide this 48 divided by 3. 16. Answer is negative because the two numbers have different signs. Right? This is roughly the rules of, this is the application of rules of operations of directed numbers. I think you understood how to apply these rules, operation of directed numbers to simplify the add and subtract, multiply and division of directed numbers, right? I think you have gained the good knowledge of how to apply the rules of directed number operations to add, subtract, multiply and divide directed numbers. That is all about that, and we will discuss, because this is only very basic examples of application of the rules of directed numbers. And when you come to this multiplication case, this one, I want to tell you another important point here. Multiplication case. Then we know when you multiply two numbers of the same sign, it can be negative negative or positive positive. Then we can say that positive into positive equals positive. See this case, positive number multiplied by positive equals positive. Then other one you can say this negative into negative equals positive. See here, in this case, negative sign multiplied by negative sign equals positive sign, right? So negative into negative. Then negative into positive is always negative. Keep in your mind. Negative into positive is always negative. Other one is positive into negative is also always negative. That is the other one. Then these sign multiplications also are based on this rule, these two rules. Right? Sign multiplications are also based on these two rules, right? Okay. Then I think you had very good understanding on all these subject matters that we discussed. These subject matters, these are only very basic examples. We will discuss more complex examples in the next video. Post in the next video tomorrow containing some complex examples of simplifying addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of directed numbers. Subscribe the channel and stay with me, and I am posting another interesting video tomorrow. Until tomorrow, see you. Goodbye.